what do high rollers want? They want that special VIP treatment, right? There's certain things that they get that the average consumer doesn't get. But if you can offer people that 5-star service, doesn't matter what your business is, just give them that. When you represent yourself, you give somebody 5-star service of who you are, the person that you want to become, they remember that. They'll forget what you said, that there's a saying, but they'll never forget how you made them feel.
Live? Okay. So we got our first guest on the show, Mr. Alexio Ramirez. We're super excited to have you, man. We've done a ton of research. And I want to just jump right into it, man. You got a lot of stuff online. People can look you up, and we'll plug all your socials down below. But I wanted to know, how did Alexio become Alexio, the real estate king of Las Vegas? The come-up story. The come-up story.
Well, I mean, if you want to get really to the real story, my first job was actually as a busboy. I was a busboy I've been in Vegas, this will tell you how long, at a casino called the Frontier. Old school casino, a little bit right when that old school mob was like already moving out. And started with that. I was, had to have my dad had to come down and get me a special work permit to work in a casino at the age of 15. You had to have a special work permit. Did that. And then was working 8 hours, going to school, another 6-7 hours, and just it was tough, but I was a cool kid at school because I got to buy a car at the age of 16. Nice. So I got to pick up all my buddies and stuff, and that was like a big deal. Even though it was just a little bucket, I was really proud of it, and we'd go to all the cool little after parties and stuff like that, high school parties. But did a lot of Twilight, and then at the age of 21. Decided when in Rome, do like the Romans, and, seen the casinos there and got into the casino industry. Started working as a casino dealer and did that for a while, and got to understand hospitality and working for a corporation and stuff. And, seeing that there was, even though I enjoyed it, there were some ceilings that I couldn't get past, right? As a always had, some people are born with it, some people inspire to be it, always had an entrepreneur spirit, and said, you know what, I want to do other stuff, and accomplish more stuff. I was limited on the hours that I could work in the casino, even though some people would work in 2 jobs, and I always had a passion to want to do something that kind of impacted people a little bit more,
What was your role in the casino?
I was a casino dealer.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're blackjack.
Blackjack dealer, roulette dealer, all the other side games and stuff, and got to meet a lot of interesting people. Back then, there was a lot of whales coming to Vegas. Mm-hmm. Got to deal to one of the biggest high rollers ever in Vegas history, called Kerry Packer, Australian billionaire. That people can look him up online. He actually, the casino industry learned a lot from him because he had such a unlimited bankroll. He took casinos down. When the MGM first opened up, he went so heavy, they let him go as much as he wanted.
No max, just however much.
Had a max, $25,000 a hand, $5,000. He'd pace on the blackjack table 6 or 7 spots, almost like 150 a go around, and just MGM opened up. When it first opened up, it was a huge deal, and if you ever go to the MGM here, it's so massive. It's actually 4 casinos in one, casino space wise. He actually took them for $17 million, and it's recorded. You can look it up. They had to lay off 400 to 500 people. He killed their quarterly earnings. Wow, one guy. No way. So they learned. Vegas learned that when you have a whale of that magnitude, you have to put a cap on them, and you see it now. They unfortunately kick some people out if you win too much because they can only handle. So now, back then, they made deals with other casinos to implement, hey, if he takes us for this amount, we're going to ship him off to you, and you guys take him and we'll bring him back. So anyhow, worked in the casino industry for a while. And then in 2003, had an opportunity to work in finance for real estate. I always wanted to do something that impacted people a little bit more than a regular 9 to 5. I was starting to get burned out of the casino industry. And
how long were you at the casino for?
I was there for about 14 years. Yeah. Long time.
So it was just eating at you by the end of it.
You know what? I got to experience it, grateful, but, not knocking 9 to 5, but after a while found out that, it can be a grind when you're put a limit on yourself as how far you can grow and what you can expand on. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, entrepreneurs will understand that if there's a fire in you to do more, you can't put a cap on that. It's there, and if you don't act on it, something will happen.
You mentioned that like some people are born with it and some people like get it later on. Did you have someone in your life that like made you want to be an entrepreneur, or did you just like see it around you and that was like the motivating factor?
Great question. Like I said, some of us I always had a desire to do something, do more stuff, and I'm a big component of whatever you believe is true. And I used to tell people I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I worked in the casino industry. Some people doubted me. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I was going to do something. I knew that. Some people would doubt me and say, no, you're not going to do that, this and that. And both of them are true. We know whatever you believe is true. If you say, nope, you're never going to be able to accomplish it, that's true. If you tell them, I don't care what you guys say, I'm going to do big things, that's true too. That's your truth. So we know that. But I had that desire, probably a mixture of seeing other people be successful and ambitious. And I got into real estate finance, and I understood that business, learned from it, and then started getting really good at it and understanding. I wasn't good at it at the beginning. I didn't understand the concept. There was a lot of underwriting factors back then. As you guys probably a little bit younger, but there was a lot of subprime loans back there. There was a lot of information to learn, and it didn't come naturally. I had to really understand it, grasp numbers, accounting, and all that stuff. Finally, I got to be pretty good at it. Then the real estate market crashed. So
that was around 08?
That was around 08, exactly. 2008, it just hit quick and fast. So at that time, I had a property and worked really hard for it. And at that time, overnight, things just collapsed. I've seen all these people losing their properties and things happening, and investors. There was a terrible time. A lot of like the Great Depression of our time, right? I even seen people dying because of it, literally jumping off houses and stuff and seeing crazy stuff, that was going on. But at that time, it was a big learning of, wanting to be successful, and everything can disappear overnight, and having a balance of being happy. At that time, I was really stressed out, didn't know what to do. I read a book by Ram Dass, A Beginner's Guide to Meditation. Believe it or not, I was like, let me see what this is about. And he talked about meditating, and a good way to get into meditation and control your mind and control your stress levels is to get into yoga. I was the last person that was into yoga, and I went and I started looking for yoga classes, was looking for a mentor to show me more about meditation, and ended up meeting an ordained Buddhist monk. To this day, Bhante Suhatha is a very dear friend of mine. I got into the Blue Lotus meditation group, found super peaceful way of thinking and being, and understanding that, listen, it's not just about things, because everybody can lose things and some things you can't control, but finding happiness and peace and not being stressed out is another super important aspect of being successful, is having like that inner peace. Because I seen all these people that I wanted to aspire, like you said, that motivated me, and seen it, and they lost everything. So that could happen overnight. So I was like, you know what? I started looking for other answers. They say knocking the doors open is like, what is real success? What is really to be really successful? But some things can be taken overnight, So I learned a lot of valuable lessons. People say, oh, you've had some success. Well, I've had a lot of failures to learn from, So I know the opposite to things. I know what it's like to lose everything. A lot of people out there do too. I know what that feels like. And in those times, I found out, as crazy as it sounded, I didn't have a house. I was technically homeless. I wasn't on the street, but I lost everything. And at that time, I learned to learn from meditation and not to be attached to so many things and so many outcomes. And I had so much peace, even though I didn't have anything, and started learning that what society wants us to be and what I really should be to have peace is two different things. Like, am I doing these things to impress women? At that time, I had a little girlfriend that wanted to be, hey, are you a homeowner? It's really important to say you have a home to be successful, right? Well, at that time, I didn't have those tools anymore. I used to have homes. I didn't have any homes. I'm like, well, I can't use that tool anymore. So what do I have to offer? And I was like, you know what? Do I want to acquire these things to impress other people, or do I want to acquire things for other reasons, for, myself, inspiring people, for accomplishing the right reasons and having the right goals intact? And a lot of the things that I was doing back then, I'm sure I'm not the only one, was just trying to impress society. I should do these things. I should have homes. I should have a cool car just to impress society. But what happens when I don't have those things? At that time, I learned that, you know what, whether I have things or not, it's a choice, whether I want to be happy, whether I want to have peace in my life, whether I need to impress people that don't even like me anyway. Right. So there was a lot of lessons to be learned in there, that in order for me to be successful, it really starts with my way of thinking, and my version of success could be different from somebody else's version of success. I think we were talking before the show started, I travel internationally. I go to South America. Part of my deal is I love going to places where conventionally a lot of tourists won't go. I like going to some places that could be considered the barrio, some places that could be dangerous. And I've gone to these places, and some people could consider the slums. I've gone to those neighborhoods and meditated and hung out with the people and seen that they are just happy as can be. They might not have a lot, but they're wealthy. And I've told some of them, I'm so jealous of you. You guys have something that I aquire to have. The wealth that you have, I can't attain without. You don't need things to be wealthy. They have, they're happy. They have their friends. They have food that weekend. They're watching the soccer game. They have happiness. They have wealth, right? So there's a balance that I've learned through life. To being successful is, things are important. Money is important. Being successful is important, right? Money's not everything.
Do you think that growing up in Vegas and seeing what you've seen in the casino industry and seeing that the level of where someone could take it with the high roller that you dealt to fuels any of that, or fueled any of that in the past, where you're like, well, I need this success. I need the car, the nice apartment, houses.
Yeah. You know what? It is important to achieve things, especially personal goals. And I've seen people winning huge amounts of money. I've seen people lose huge amounts of money. I've seen multi, some of the highest millionaires. I won't mention the names, but they're you can Google them, one of the highest rollers that ever came through Caesars Entertainment, that lost his complete hundreds of millions to Caesars Entertainment, that passed away with anything. I've seen dealt with people like that. So I've seen what wealth can do, and losing wealth too. And those things inspire you to get things and accomplish things while we're on this journey called life, right? But also understand that, there's an opposite to a lot of things, right? So not just, if you're just basing being successful on how many homes you have, how many cool Lamborghinis you have right now, at the end of the day, you're still going to die without a Lamborghini, right? Mm-hmm. So in that journey, and there's nothing wrong with having fancy cars. That's amazing, and enjoy it, but being present in that moment and enjoying it, right? And understanding what it is at that time, because, at the end, it's the game of life is not going to be of how many things did we die with. It's about how many experiences, how many things did we cherish, how many lives have we impacted, how many things did we do that we can say at the end, you know what, I'm good. I did everything I wanted to do. I wanted to accomplish all these things. I set these goals. I didn't live this life as a sin, not giving all the potential that I had to this world, right? Mm-hmm. If you have that and you're doing that on a daily basis, saying that potential that you have, if you have that burning desire that I want something more. When I worked in that casino, I knew there was something more that I needed to do. There was something more that I could give, something more that I could accomplish, something more that I could inspire somebody by doing more. Mm-hmm. If that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. So what was the next step for Alexio once the crash happened and you read this book and looked at things a little different? What was the next step? What was
Yeah, the next
kind of
step
the goal
was taken through life. You know, at that time it was crazy. You know, I lost the real estate that I had, and at that moment got into meditation and found a lot of peace. Found out some things. Always learning things, and then about 2009, I have a very dear friend of mine. I just got off the phone with him that was in the residential real estate market here in Vegas, and he knew I was a loan officer from back then and working in the casino industry, and he told me that there were some things happening in Vegas. He was at that time, people didn't know what it was. He was running a big hedge fund run by Blackstone, and at that time in Vegas, people were saying, "Do not buy in Vegas. Don't buy real estate." This is the time when you hear about people that condos were selling for $40,000, homes were selling for $100,000. People were like, "Oh, I should have bought that real estate." It's like, no, you weren't going to buy it. I was there that time. People were terrified to buy real estate in Vegas. But at that time, there was a hedge fund here in town buying real estate. They were going to buy 2,000 homes cash. And my friend was part of that group leading that real estate team, and told me to get into real estate because he thought I was very talented, but wanted me on the residential side. I always liked dealing more with people. Even when I was a loan officer, I got to be good at it. I'll be honest. I didn't like it. I hated it. I hated being behind the desk, shuffling paperwork. It was very stressful. I enjoyed more interactions dealing with people. So I got into the real estate side, residential real estate, started working with him. And then when I understand that this corporation, after buying their portfolio of homes, I'd be back to square one, I decided, you know what? I want to build my own database, my own portfolio of people that I can help with. I don't just want to work for the big corporations when that's said and done. Again, I wanted to help as many people like myself that lost real estate at that time, and had my sphere of influence and started working with that. Joined a local real estate brokerage here in town, and after a year, I started winning top awards and listing agent of monthly awards consistently. And again, I wanted to challenge myself. There was something more I needed to do, something that I don't want to say I got bored with, but after, it was very grateful to win like the top award, but it's like there's still something missing. Like there's something more. So I said, well, let me get into something that's more challenging, which is the luxury real estate space. I started saying I'm going to go after really big listings, and started going after big listings. And remember, there was a penthouse that I went on a listing presentation on. And at that time, they wanted to find out, I used to sell myself, but they wanted to find out the brokerage I was working with. At that time, they didn't hear about the brokerage that I was with. So,
nobody knew who the brokerage was.
Correct.
Like a low level brokerage.
So when you get into the real estate space, it's important for them to find out who you are and who you work with. It's really important, more important. It's always important in any real estate, but even more that they want to find out. And the other thing that they want a luxury home seller wants to find out, have you sold $1 million properties like this? They want to know if you've done this before. So, lost a listing, and then did some more research, and was previously trying to be I was recruited by a big luxury brand here in town. I was very good friends with my broker at that time, so I turned it down. I went back to them and told them, hey, listen, I'm looking to expand my skills and would love to see if you guys would give me an opportunity. And I was hired by one of the biggest luxury brokerages here in town. Fortunate, fast forward, was able to get $1 million listings. Fast forward a little bit more. I've been featured on the front cover of the Las Vegas Review-Journal for one of my celebrity clients' homes that I listed. Was also talked in the front cover of the business section, giving some insight on the luxury market here in Las Vegas. So always trying to challenge myself, always trying to get better at my craft. No matter how good I am, there's always more to learn. So built a database throughout Vegas and internationally, travel internationally to maintain and grow that database that I have. And being that we're in Vegas and Vegas is an international destination point, it's important for me to go outside of Vegas to find out what's happening in the other markets, specifically feeder markets, because a lot of our buyers are coming from certain feeder markets. So I like to travel to those markets and share with them what's going on here in Vegas.
Oh, that's smart.
Is California like considered a feeder market?
California is definitely a feeder market,
Okay.
you know, definitely a feeder market. So really important. I just have a agent that we just did a deal with. We go back and forth. She's in Laguna Beach and refer people back and forth. I have some good networks out there that I built along with Florida. Florida is a big market for me where I go back and forth a lot too. Have some good friends out there, and also brokers that I like to promote their listings and their developments that are coming up there that I think would be a good investment.
Yeah.
Too.
Aside from obviously the ticket of the home and the price of the home, is there like what are the main differences between selling just your cookie cutter homes and then your luxury penthouses?
Yeah, one of the things that's very important to a person that has an important, all homes are important, but a unique property is the type of marketing that you can represent, the type of reach that you can have. The brokers that I was working with, am working with, is an international brand. So that's really important. Branding and marketing is really important to those high net worth individuals. Of the more eyes that we can get your home in front of is going to be relevant to how many offers and the sale price of the home. So the more people that can see, the more exposure we can bring to the property is the better offers we're going to be able to present to the home seller.
So that's why you see those YouTube videos like doing those like crazy house tours, and those YouTube videos get millions of views.
Absolutely.
So, like, they're working with those types of firms.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. But another thing that's really important is your network and your database of people that you have. Like I said, have a lot of $1 million, $2 million homeowner is going to want to know one of the first things, have you sold $2 million type homes like this? Are you familiar with this niche? High rise is very unique to regular real estate. Are you familiar with selling these type of penthouses? Are you familiar with selling high rise? That is a whole different niche than a regular guard gated community or a regular non-HOA community or an HOA community. There's special features. Each building has distinct things going on with it. Some can have some special assessments. Some can have construction defects. It's really important to know your product. Be an expert in your product. Be an expert in the guard gated communities. Be an expert on what the HOAs offer within those realms of that community is really important. So when you can speak that language to that homeowner and let them know that, listen, I am very versed on what's going on with this community, what's going on in this particular guard gated community. And you can say, I know that house over there. I've sold that house. This is your neighbor. I've worked with them. When they feel comfortable that you know their product just as good as them, then, you'll be successful in helping represent them.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. If somebody's watching this that's selling cookie cutter homes right now and wants to break into luxury, what's your biggest tip?
One of the things that's really important is to build that database is think like $1 million homeowner. Think of where do they go work out? Think of where do they go hang out at? Think of what coffee shops they go to. Think of what car clubs they go to. Live like they do. If you want to, people like to do business and hang out with people that are like-minded, right? So if you think like them and you go to places and go to the same restaurants, go network with them, hang out in places that they do so you can meet luxury clientele. It's going to be very hard to break into that market if you're not going and hanging out at the same places they do. It doesn't mean that you have to join the country club because that could get very expensive, but you can join special networking organizations, go to philanthropy events. A lot of them like to do they like to give to a good cause. Go to those events, hang out with them, make friends with them. People like to do business with people that they feel comfortable with, that they're friends with. So if you make friends and get into a crowd, get into a country, get into networking events that they go to, you'll have a bigger chance and you will develop those contacts. You will develop that database hanging out with that type of environment.
I want to go back a little bit to where you said you just got into real estate and you were like the top agent. Like, what, and then like now you're clearly like super successful in Vegas. What is the difference between like an average real estate agent versus someone like you that like has got up to this level? You're doing luxury real estate. Like, what is the difference?
I mean, there's a lot of successful agents here in town, a lot of cores. I'm so proud of. There's so many kick-ass agents here in town. Vegas is a really big city. To get into the luxury market, it's just, dedicating your time to that niche, if that's what you want to do. Doesn't mean that you have to get into the luxury market to be successful. Volume kicks butt. There's some agents that are closing huge amounts of deals, volume. But if you wanted to get into the luxury market and represent that luxury brand, it's important to position yourself, make yourself seem like that luxury agent. If that's what you want to go after, be that luxury agent, market yourself like that. Your marketing tells the story for what you're doing, get your marketing out there. If you have cookie cutter marketing, then, it's going to be cookie cutter type of track homes you might be able to attract. But if your marketing is set for luxury homes, if your marketing is set to bring international exposure to these type of homes, it's a different set of marketing than just a regular home, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Marketing is super important.
Marketing is super important to dictate the product that you're going to be selling. Which there's nothing wrong with a regular $300,000 home, but a $3,000 home might not need to be featured in a luxury magazine, or need to be featured on the LA Times. If we have a special home that needs to get extra exposure, we will take out ads in the Los Angeles Times, in the New York Times, in Go Luxury brochures, magazines, interior design magazines. That is a different type of niche for that type of home that needs, depending on the exposure that it needs to get.
How much is an ad in something like the New York Times?
Depending on, but we have some special pricing since we work directly with the New York Times. It could be $1,500 up to whatever 2-page ads. It depends on the type of home. Also, bigger homes take more marketing budgets, so you have to be ready to spend. Businesses are like that. The more marketing you spend, the bigger ad spend you're going to get. So you have to be ready for that. You have to be able to put your own money up in the beginning. Like any business, it's more of an investment at the beginning. People want to get into the luxury market. It's not, it's work and it's money sometimes. It doesn't have to be, but you know what? Any business, you have to spend money in the beginning before you start reaping the returns. But I'm a true believer, the more you invest into yourself, the better your returns you're going to get. When you walk into a listing presentation and you can offer these things. You can offer, I'm going to get you in the New York Times. You're going to be in the LA newspaper. I'm going to have you featured. I'm going to have YouTube ads. I'm going to have social media. I'm going to have luxury magazines that your house is going to be featured. If you really believe in the product and you believe you can sell that home, then you have to believe in yourself that you can invest this money in yourself, in your marketing, and you're going to get it back. If you're not willing to invest any marketing on their property, you're not willing to invest in their home, in yourself, why is that client going to feel comfortable coming with you if you're not comfortable listing and investing money into your own product, if that kind of makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've, crushed it in real estate in Vegas. You've also recently launched a business.
Correct.
So you've done this real estate thing. Now you're getting into business. What's the business about? What's it called? Can you tell us a bit about it?
It is Rocket TV Media. You can find the website, rocketvmedia.com.
Rocket, like a rocket ship.
That's
right?
correct.
Okay.
Rocketvmedia.com. I'm expanding throughout Las Vegas and the Henderson market. I've purchased the largest indoor digital billboard network in Las Vegas, and we are expanding indoor digital billboards throughout the Vegas Valley. One of the reasons I have been successful in real estate is because of my marketing, being found on Google. The type of marketing that I do for homes, the exposure that I bring for homes is really important. And people have asked, how have I been successful in real estate? It's the marketing. Marketing is so important. Marketing yourself, branding yourself. Vegas understands the concept of outdoor billboards. Billboards are branding. You know, some of the biggest powerhouse attorneys have started just with billboards, you know, and repetition. You know, the more you see somebody, the more you're branded to it, the more you're going to think of it when you need it. You don't need an attorney. You're driving down the 15 freeway. Here are the freeways. You don't see anything. But as soon as you get in a car accident, it clicks in your brain. I know who to call. This guy's everywhere. There's a few of them, you know, and they're very powerful because it works. They're not advertising 20, 50 billboards because they don't work. It works. Branding works. Marketing works. You could be the best attorney in Vegas, but if people don't know who you are, they're not going to call you. You can be the best real estate in a city like Las Vegas, but if people don't know who you are and what you offer, you're not going to be successful. So we know this to be true. Repetition and branding is super important. You know, there's some businesses that offer a great service, but they go under. People don't know about them. Mm-hmm. As opposed to it, there's some restaurants that are not top notch, but they're not really bad. They're not really great, but they are slammed all the time. They have phenomenal marketing behind them. They have phenomenal social media. They have phenomenal billboards going out, and people know brand recognition. When I think of a certain Mexican restaurant, I think of a certain Italian restaurant, the name's there and it's consistent. So you go there. So being that marketing is so important, we understand how powerful it is in my real estate business and other businesses that we've taken the concept from the outdoor digital billboards and brought them indoors into making 15 to 30 second commercials for small to medium businesses so they can tell their own story to their own clientele, and we can advertise them not just in their location, but outbound throughout Las Vegas and Henderson.
And is this like a new startup that you're starting from scratch, or is it more of like a franchise you're buying into?
It is. It's a franchise, and it's in over 200 locations. Originally, how I got into it is I wanted to start advertising in billboards. However, there was limited supply, and the cost was pretty expensive. So I called up one of the biggest indoor digital billboard companies in the country and asked them, I wanted to start advertising my real estate services in some of the homes that we feature on billboards. And they told us that, unfortunately, they've been wanting to get into the Vegas market for a very long time. Vegas is a key market for advertising, marketing, growth businesses that are coming in, and found out that they weren't here yet, but were very eager to get in Las Vegas. I seen the value in it just for my own business, that I said, you know what, let's negotiate. And I took over the Las Vegas market as well as Henderson. So now I've taken over the whole territory, and I'm going to utilize this platform, not just for real estate, my business, but for other business owners that want to reach out and get their advertising out to other businesses and other people.
It's a smart play. I mean, you're kind of essentially liquidating your own advertising costs for selling homes by also providing the service to
correct
other business owners.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when I looked at the business model, said this is something that I could use in my own business, and it could be very beneficial getting the word out. But seeing a lot of value as not just for real estate, but for other business owners to get them out there. And you know, a lot of my business and my network of people and database that I have has not been just for me selling real estate, but me connecting people. I have handymen, construction workers, developers, insurance, landscapers that I have connected with other clients and other people to get them more business. So when I do that, and I'm the connector, when people think of real estate, they think of me because I've connected them with other stuff, right? So that's how I've grown my business. That's been a very key play that is completely true, is givers gain. The more I give, the more I can gain in the long run, right? The more I help other people, the more I connect you with the right contacts and help you grow your business, it's going to give me back. I've been a big believer in that since I got into real estate. That's how I built my business, is helping other people, not just my own clients, but other business owners, to help them insurance and get them connected with the right key players in that. And it's definitely helped me make better connections. So the more I can help other people, the more it comes back to you. As you've heard that cliche, it's
true, though. It's just so true. Yeah. 100%.
It's true. Being there for people, connecting people. I've helped people through real estate without selling their homes. I've told them, hey, listen, you don't need to sell right now. This is the truth. This is what you need to do. Connecting them with somebody else in a different city, wanting nothing in return. Help them with their insurance. I just had a past client of mine call me with something else, and I connected him with one of our top insurance brokers. You know, we want nothing from it. We just want you to be taken care of. You know, I want to be the connector. I don't want to be just the real estate person. I want to be the go-to person that somebody can call and know I'm reliable and can help them with something else. Connecting with another business owner, connecting with a need they have, connecting them with they need car advice. I have a luxury car dealer broker. I have an insurance broker. I have a mover. I have handymen. I have contractors. I have travel agents. I got casino hosts, whatever you need, I want to be the connector. So if I can make more connections, in the end, when you need something from me, hopefully you'll be able to connect me too.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. So anybody needs anything in Vegas?
Yeah, someone's in Vegas.
Alexio's the guy to know.
He's the guy to know.
Well, I preach that not just for myself, but for other business owners. You know, for other business owners, just help people, bring service, bring customer service to your people. You know, these little things make a big difference. You know, the Ritz-Carlton, the brand that it is, they give you little things, little appetizers, cocktails, all this stuff. It's part of branding. It's part of the service that you're used to, you know. A lot of businesses, when they can offer more, you know, you get more in return.
So that hospitality mentality that you said that you learned in the casino industry, you just kind of applied that to life, like in general, like try to give as much as I can. So then it just comes back to me like tenfold. Absolutely.
So I learned that in the hospitality industry. You know, what do high rollers want? They want that special VIP treatment, right? There's certain things that they get that the average consumer doesn't get. But if you can offer people that 5-star service, doesn't matter what your business is, just give them that. When you represent yourself, you give somebody 5-star service of who you are, the person that you want to become, they remember that. They'll forget what you said, that there's a saying, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. So just in relationships, friendships, whatever, forget about business. Forget about how much money you're going to give, you're going to get back, or what you're going to make. Just give 5-star service, not just in work, not just in business, but in life, in your relationships, right? 5-star service in your relationship, in your social circle, and you're going to get that back. You're going to make the difference, you know? When you look out after your friends, when you look out after somebody, and you're given 5-star service of who you are all the time, people remember that, and they keep coming back. Just like these big brands, the Ritz-Carlton, the W Hotel, people come back to those brands because of the service that they get. So try to model myself after that, not just in business, but in relationship, in people and friends, you know, investing in marketing. But I'm a big believer that I invest in people. I'm also a real estate investor, but I invest in real estate. I invest in people. I invest in relationships around me. The more I invest, the better returns I'm going to get, the better friendship I'm going to have, the better circle of friends I'm going to get back, right? So I am a big believer as an investor in real estate, understanding real estate, but as an investor in life, man, you have to invest in people.
Dude, it's funny that you say that, because the way that we met was that we were like out on the street asking people like, hey, like, what do you do for a living? And just like, we get so many no's, like it actually kind of sucks doing it. But like when we asked you, I think Johnny came up to you, right? And
yes.
Dude, like you're just so open, you're like so down to do it. And like, yeah, like what you're saying, like you actually live it. And like, that's some good stuff.
That's true. I'll back that up. Even immediately after meeting you, you're like, I know this guy. We could do this. We could do that. We could do this. I know this guy. Have you met him? So yeah, I mean, back that.
Yeah, no, it's important to see that. I appreciate that. And, you know, like we go back to entrepreneur, is it learned or is it taught? A little bit of both, you know. I was not, one of the things I will tell you that, you know, we post social media, the $1 million listings, the awards, all this stuff, but you don't see the back end stuff. You don't see the deals. We don't post. And I tell people, you know, social media is not real all the time, right? We post all the good stuff, but in order for some people to be successful, like I said, most of this stuff, very open about other things that I have failed at. You know, when you see the $1 million listing and I post that and, you know, it gets picked up in the Las Vegas Review Journal, you don't see the 10, 20, 30 phone calls that were made that said no, right? You have to get through all these things to learn what the metrics are to be successful. You know, being on the street, talking to people didn't come naturally maybe to you, but sales wasn't natural to me. But the more I did it, the better I got. The more no's I got, I knew I was going to get better and get the yeses. So a lot of things are to be successful and to excel is repetition. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it. I'd rather have the sales guy on my team that sucks at sales, but he's willing to be like you guys and go up and open and talk to everybody consistently, because that person's going to sell more than the rock star sales guy that has every rebuttal, but he's scared to talk to people. After 3 people, he shuts down if they say no. Give me the guy that's volume. Give me the volume person all the time that's willing to speak to people, that's willing to keep on doing it over and over again, because that's a person that's going to win in life. That's a person that's going to win in sales. It's going to be more successful in real estate, more successful in a lot of things if they understand consistency. Consistency wins a race every time.
Yeah, no, agreed. 100%. I do want to hear a little bit more about Rocket TV, though, because we haven't talked about that. And it's really interesting business because there's businesses that spend, I mean, we spend tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of $1,000s a month on ads. And so we know what a certain, you know, cost per 1,000 views is gonna run. What does the advertising game look like as far as indoor billboards go, though?
Great question. Yeah, so right now, what we're doing is we're getting host locations throughout Las Vegas. I won't mention any names, but we're already in the town square, a very busy outdoor plaza here in Las Vegas. We have a local casino that's already on board. Just left a meeting where we have a bunch of the chambers that want to be involved with us because they understand chambers have business owners that are a part of chambers of commerce. Yeah, throughout Las Vegas. Las Vegas has got lots of diverse, different type of chambers. There's a Henderson chamber, a Las Vegas chamber, urban chamber, the Asian chamber, Latin chamber, wedding chamber, believe it or not, who we're speaking with and are excited to be working with us because we want to, just like you guys, in marketing, I'm learned about marketing and advertising from learning what doesn't work. You know, again, in order to be successful, you got to understand what doesn't work, right? And I've spent a lot of money on things that weren't as successful. One of the things that we do know and understand to be very successful is billboards. To make it on a billboard, at least in real estate, you've made it. Like you won, because that's very expensive to be in there. If you're on a billboard, you've won. You've made it in the game of whatever business you're at. Attorneys as well. It's expensive, but it works. So we know that billboards work. So we've taken that concept and making it more affordable and building out a network throughout Las Vegas of indoor digital billboards. And we're also, besides marketing business owners, we want to keep relevant information throughout, make it very community driven. We want to have this network give information of what's going on in Vegas. When we have the Super Bowl, it's going to be really important to find out the traffic, the schedule, the dates, the time. When there's a big concert going on, we want to get the word out. When there's big, as of right now, CES convention shows, we want to get the word out on information that people need to know. Also, when it comes to things like Formula One, we want to keep people informed. So we don't want to just overwhelm people with advertising, but also make it very community driven to let people know what's happening in Vegas, what events are going to be happening that people need to be informed on. Also, if there's a big concert or a big venue and they need to get the word out, besides social media, billboards are a very great way to get the whole city to know what's happening in Vegas. So
if I'm a cleaning business and I'm like, hey, this, you know, I'm getting some information here. I see an ad pop up for XYZ company. I'm like, hey, I want to advertise on one of these billboards. What are the economics behind that look like?
Well, they would just have to contact us at rocketvmedia.com and let us know what they're looking for. You know, how much of an not if there's a certain demographic, let's say there's a new barbershop that just opened up, the demographics that we know is most people that live within 3 to 5 miles of an area. That's where they do the majority of their business. That's where they go get their haircut. Women go get their nails done.
Yeah.
The gym that you go to, it's within 3 to 5 miles for the most part. Your grocery store, your CVS, you have your Walmart, you have your Target. The demographics 3 to 5 miles. So what we've done is we've taken the concept of the billboards, but instead of just being on one billboard, we want to keep you within a demographic of wherever your business is and brand you. Because if somebody's going to the gym and they see XYZ cleaning business, they'll see him there. Once they go to the barbershop, they see it again. Once they go to the local restaurant, when they go to the local coffee shop, there in that 3 to 5, seeing it one time is not as effective as being seen 5 to 10 times. We know that repetition brings credibility. If you see a realtor on 20 realtor billboards, is he necessarily the best realtor? I don't know. But is he probably going to be the best successful realtor? Yeah, because recognition brings credibility.
Yeah. I think there's a stat or something where it's like you have to see something 7 times. Is it 7 or?
Well, there was like the rule of 27.
27 is what I'm thinking.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that marketing works in real estate. If you consistently get marketing pieces in your mailbox for direct mail from Banana Real Estate, saying that they are the local experts in that community over and over again, when you come to sell your home, that's who you're going to think of, because that is who you see to be the most credible real estate brokerage in your area. Same thing when an attorney, you see an attorney and you think of it. Is it necessarily that they're the best attorney? Not necessarily. There's some of them that never go to trial, and you're never going to speak with that attorney. You're going to speak with somebody on their team. But are they the best attorneys successfully? Yes, because they have the best marketing. So whoever wins in the marketing game is going to be successful as long as you have a good brand to back it up with. So one of the things that's super important, as we know as business owner, is the marketing. The marketing's got to be effective and it's got to work, because you could be the best cleaning business, but if nobody knows who you are, then good chance you might go upside down before people get to know what kind of service you have to offer. So what we are more geo-targeted in a community. Again, not every business owner needs to be. There's a certain restaurant that just opened up in a certain mile radius. We want to get as much exposure to them within that community, as opposed to if they have one location, we don't want to advertise them 20 miles over in Centennial Hills, but we will have the exposure for certain business owners as an attorney, as a real estate insurance agent, that they don't need to be geo-targeted. If they need us to get the word out throughout the whole Vegas Valley, we can blast them out everywhere throughout town, because some services are more online and not geo-targeted, and they could take clients from wherever. So we have something for everybody, a small business owner that's just getting started, or a big corporate marketing campaign that we can do internationally. And we have the capability also to not just advertise them throughout Las Vegas, but we can blast them throughout the country, throughout our other networks.
Can you kind of break down the logistics of the business in terms of like the sales process? Like, is it a double-sided sales process where you have to get the barbershop on board and like give them like rent basically for having a billboard in their shop, and then you also have to sell someone to like advertise there?
Great question. Yeah, great question. So the way our concept works, it's a little bit different, is for example, we have an excellent barbershop on the southwest part of town, very well known in the community. We have a billboard coming up in his location. Because he is one of our host locations, we are giving him a free digital billboard to advertise his monthly barber pricing, special things that he's got going on within the business for that month. We do his marketing for free. And we also advertise his barbershop in 5 other locations within the community, absolutely free for him, because he's one of our host locations. Now, where the company and we make our money is we have outside advertisers, as an attorney, as a real estate agent, insurance broker, that they'll have paid advertisements throughout his barbershop and through other places in that community. So the advertisers are the ones that are spending the ad spend. But if somebody is chosen to come in as a host location and they have enough dwell time, meaning that they have a waiting area, they have foot traffic coming in that spend time. Example is quick care centers. How many times have you sat at the quick care center or a hospital waiting for your doctor, sitting there for an hour, just killing that National Geographic magazine till it's so beat up? Those are good dwell times. We're partnering up with a lot of quick care centers to advertise whatever marketing message they have for their clients, insurance, whatever new locations they have, and keep people engaged. But at the same time, we're going to have outside advertising in those locations to give people some dwell time to find out what's going on in that quick care center, but also to get relevant advertising for other business owners that are offering services.
That's genius.
So
that you're like giving the hosts the ability to like advertise in other places, and that's how you get in. Like that's
we want to do
business model.
A different business model that we have some people that are going to have marketing dollars that they're not going to have to spend out of their pockets and have huge marketing, thousands of marketing dollars working for them without them spending one dime, just letting us advertise, have our digital billboards inside their locations. For every location that they give us, we give them 5 other screens. That there's people that are already working on building a whole network without actually having to spend their own marketing money just through referrals.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So, we're giving them exposure, and they're also working directly with us and being a part of our network so we can build our network. And there's other people, businesses that are more than happy to pay for advertisement to be in these locations. And they've already have marketing budgets waiting to advertise with us. So we're really excited to expand throughout the Las Vegas and Henderson Valley and connect business owners with each other and help each other. When we have, for example, we have a very popular gun range that has a lot of VIPs and celebrities that come and shoot guns and have some private areas. We are going to be connecting them with a very popular new cigar lounge, very VIP cigar lounge. That same crowd needs to know about each other. So both of these businesses are on board. They're like, we want to advertise them and we want them to advertise us because we're sharing the same clientele. So again, we believe it's a win-win. You know, part of my business model for real estate is the more you give, the more you give back, right? The more we can help these business owners and them help other business owners, these other business owners are going to help them back, if that kind of makes sense.
No, it makes perfect
Building that network, right? Yeah. We're not in a competition. Same thing with me in real estate. I'm not in a competition with anybody. I've worked with people. I refer other agents. There's a certain niche that I can't do, and I can't help this certain clientele. I reach out to other agents. I give them business. I want to help other people. Same time, when there's something that they're not able to represent that I can, I work with other agents, and I've always modeled myself with that, with helping and not being, there's no competition. There's enough for everybody to work together, and having that mentality that you want to help other people will help you grow more. You know what the saying goes, go fast by yourself, but go further.
If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Go together. That's it. And that concept really works in business. You know, work with other business owners, work with other people, work with other clients that you can help, and build your network. Yeah,
that abundance mentality is like super underrated in like entrepreneurship and just with business owners, because they have that feeling of like, oh, like I want all the clients to myself. But like no one can take all the clients. Like it's impossible.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. Yeah. I've always looked at that. It's not a competition. This is about working together and doing more with more people. And when you have that, like you said, that abundance mindset, people feel that and they understand that and they appreciate it and they want to work with you. You know, the more you give, the more you're going to get back.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm curious, because you've been doing real estate for a while. You've recently started up the Rocket
Rocket TV
Rocket
Media,
TV Media,
which
okay.
we consider digital real estate.
Okay.
All it is digital real estate.
How do you prioritize? Like, what do you prioritize right now? Because you have the business, two different things going on. You have a lot of people on the internet who will tell you, "Oh, you better to focus on one thing." How do you make sure both are running smoothly, and how do you choose what to prioritize?
You have to have a good team. Like I talked about. You can't do everything, and you have to understand that. When you understand that, in real estate, for example, as a realtor, you can wear lots of hats. You have to be a good bookkeeper. You have to be a good marketer. You have to be a transaction coordinator, handle all this. You can try to be a photographer, or you understand that systems in play are really what you need to expand, to go farther. And you prioritize what you need to do, what actionable things you need to do to grow the business. As a real estate agent, for me, it's going on listing appointments. It's about meeting more people, having more conversations, so hiring key people that are better than you are. Not at the same. I have better marketers. I have better videographers that I could ever do. I have Linda. She's the most amazing director of operations that has multitasking down, and is my assistant. I could never do her position as well as she can. I work with people that are much better than me at certain things.
Are these people, the staff you're talking about, are these people that are working on the real estate side of the business or at Rocket TV?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like I said, you need a team to really be able to do certain things, to expand more. So, as an entrepreneur, you build systems that work for you. You prioritize what needs to be done, and it's important to outsource what you can't do. It's important to outsource what other people can do better than you. As a cleaning business and somebody that doesn't understand how to expand their business, it's better for them to consult with you that understands that instead of them trying to invent the wheel, right? To hire coaching, hire a company that can help you expand, so it's important to build a team, hopefully that has your same mission, to be able to help the people. Management starts from the top to the bottom. If something's bad customer service, I'm always thinking it's from the top, because if they're not getting that from the top, then it trickles down. At the same time, when you walk into somewhere and their customer service is on point and the people really care, it's because the people that they're working for really care. And that effect just trickles down. So your team, your management style, and your message is really important.
Yeah. No, I mean, you spit a lot of facts right now.
Yeah, it's really important
to know. A lot of people struggle with that, especially in people that are newer to business. They're scared, like, oh, this person can't do it as good as I can, especially at the beginning. But it's something you have to learn to let go of if you ever want to grow and scale to past, whatever amount you want to get to. You have to learn how to delegate, and you have to learn how to trust and build systems so people can do things that you need them to do repeatably.
100%. Everybody, well, not everybody, a lot of people think when somebody can't do the job as good as I can. Well, you got to find out what job you can do better than anybody else and focus on that. You can't do everything. You can't run a business and say you do everything. You can't be the marketer. You can't be the IT guy. You can't be the handyman. Mm-hmm. You can't be the contractor. You can't be the restaurant manager.
Yeah.
Pick what you focus in that you're really good at. And, people say it's hard to find good help. I agree. But you know what? It's also somebody's job to train people well. It's your job too, to find that person and mold that person. You know what I mean?
And retain them.
It's your job as a business owner to retain somebody and build them up. I'm very big on that, on coaching people, not teaching people what they're doing wrong, coaching people what they are doing right and what they could do better. Don't look for the wrong things just all the time. Coach them on what they could do better, because I'm always coaching myself. I'm a work in progress. I understand that I can always do things better. And sometimes I make the right decision, and sometimes I have to make the decision right. So if I don't do something right and there's a mistake meant, I have to fix that. And understanding that, people are a work in progress. You have to build people up, make them better, instead of tearing people down, learn to tear people up, bring them up. And people know that, when you bring people up and they feel that, you don't just make yourself a better person, but you're making other people better around you. And that's what it's really about. And you feel that when you go to certain companies. You feel that when you go to certain restaurants, when they're giving you that 5-star service and they're passionate about it. It's because it comes from the top. There's an environment that's been built that is passionate about doing the best that they can. And that's, I think, very important, in business to build that, but also in personal development to build that around you in your group of friendship, the people that you have relationships with, your friends. You are who, it's very true. What they say is you are who you hang out with, right? You can have a very toxic environment. And I know that from experience, toxic friends make a toxic environment. Toxic actions make toxic things happen. But if you have positive, actionable things happen around you and you're giving that and building that, that's what's going to come back to you.
Well said.
Facts.
Well said. Do you have anything?
No, I'm good, man.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot to just put the cherry on top at.
Awesome.
I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
If anybody wants to advertise indoors, whether that's in Vegas, you said you can help anywhere.
And throughout, yeah.
Yeah. So anyone wants to advertise in Vegas where they own a business, whatever it is, real estate agent, or they want to sell a home, where's the best place to reach you?
Please contact me, Alexio Ramirez. You can rock. Instagram is Alexio Ramirez, and for Indoor Digital Billboard Network, the biggest indoor digital billboard network in Las Vegas, please reach us at rockettbmedia.com.
Awesome. And we'll plug all that down below. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Thanks so much.